and welcome back to Teaching Tips with SuperCare. Today I'm going to show you one of my favourite activities for exposure to initial sounds and mark making activities. So today I have set up a tough tray. This tough tray has very simply got bubble bath, food colouring and letters in it. It smells lovely, which is going to entice a lot of children to it, especially our ones with our higher SEN needs. This activity is primarily used for exposure to initial sounds and that recognition of initial sounds. So I have some sounds in here which are all part of our phase 2 sounds. So the first sound your child will learn, regardless of their age. This is how we learn to read and write. So these sounds in here are in messy play. That is just to attract the children to them. We know that special educational needs means children have sensory needs, and if an activity can involve letters and give them that sensory output, that is going to be very drawing for them. So I've made it a little bit interesting by adding some food colouring to it, and of course just my letters and a paintbrush as well. Now if you don't have these things at home, that's absolutely fine. You can always use letter cards instead, and it's so easy to change up this sensory experience with shaving foam, flour, rice, anything your little one absolutely loves. Then I have put a paintbrush in here just because lots of our children here at SuperCare don't like getting their hands messy. So I would then be encouraging a young person to come and explore the tray. I'd be asking them, oh, can you find the letter of your name if it's in the tray? Can you find the first letter in cat? And hopefully they would identify the k. And then I might model to them, oh, okay, I'm gonna draw a k, and model it in the tray just like that. I would then ask them to do the same, or even ask them to choose their favourite letter in the tray and model it. So for our more able learners, we might be asking them to identify a sound such as f, and then asking them to think of a word that begins with that sound and writing that full word. For example, if they identify f, and then I would ask them to write the word fish, for example, which is hopefully what they would then write in the messy play for me, just as I have done there. This is a great activity to use with a whole variety of learners because it can be as simple as making a huge mess, or it can be writing our k individual sounds or writing full words. There's a huge variety of young people that can benefit from this sort of activity. This is also an activity where if your young person isn't writing yet, it's still a great activity for exposure. So they can get their hands in, they can use pens or paintbrushes to make a whole lot of mess, which lots of young people absolutely love. But you can still expose them to these letters without there being the need for them to write them. Even you as an adult saying, oh look, it's a for house, for example, is a great way of modelling, and you never know, a child might pick up that that's a h just from you doing that work with them. This is also an activity that can be adapted to so many different things. So you could add your children's favourite characters into it. You could add their favourite habitat, for example, if your child loves the desert, make it into a desert instead. This very much gives sea sort of habitat. So I might add these things into it just to make it a little bit more interesting. In this series, we've spoken a lot about communication. So I might add a Makaton sign for smell. As I said at the beginning of the video, this is shower gel, so it has quite a strong smell. I would be encouraging the young people to smell it. It's something that I work on a lot with our young people here at SuperCare, and I find they absolutely love exploring new smells. So I would definitely add some Makaton signs to this activity just to really encourage that communication from our young people. So something I might add to this tray, if we're going along the underwater theme, is I might add a little bit of glitter. This just makes it a little bit more exciting for the young person. They can mix it in, they can get very messy, and it adds a new sensory texture for them as well. If I'm feeling really brave, I might get them to add their own glitter into it because they love creating a mess. The last thing I might add, if we're going along the sea theme, is some sea creatures. So this again adds new vocabulary, it expands the learning, and is great for them cross-curricular links. So this then leads into conversations not only about letters, but into what lives under the sea, why they live under the sea. So it's a great activity that you can expand into all areas of learning. You could even be really creative and match the sea animals to the initial letter. So for example, if I had a T, I'd have a turtle and I'd be like, oh, what sea animal matches the T? F is a great one. We've just written the word fish, so matching F to fish. Hopefully the young people will find this activity really engaging. It's one that I use weekly here at SuperCare, and I change it up in a whole variety of ways with a whole bunch of different sensory activities. I also sometimes add numbers as well because it's a great way to expose them to numbers. Thank you for watching today's episode. We have focused on a mark-making initial sounds activity to really promote them exposure to initial sounds for those young children who are still learning their initial sound groups. This was a messy play activity, which we went with an under the sea theme, just to promote that messy play and to promote that sensory experience alongside those early literacy exposure. If you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe and follow along because we have plenty more videos on the way.